See what I'm doing here, Coops?
What are you doing there, mate?
Going at Origin 1, you had a bit of a cheap shot at me for wearing a maroon jumper.
Mate, we recruit...
And guess what happened, mate? We won, and I'm hardly superstitious.
We recruit everyone and anyone, but we're not having you, mate. Take that shirt off and go back inside.
Mate, look, at the end of the day, I just want a good game.
Yeah, me too. Rugby league's the winner. How you been? What's happening?
Coops, before we get into Origin, I thought we'd have a bit of a chat about Clubland at the moment. The top four sides on the ladder anyway, Dogs, Raiders, Warriors, Storm, where do you rank them? 1 to 4.
1 to 4. As the ladder sits, it's obviously Dogs, Raiders, Warriors, Storm, right? I think Storm are still the competition favourites. As long as they're injury-free, I feel like if they get to the finals and their good players are fit, they are prelim final bound. And what happened to them last year will drive them to winning the comp. The Warriors, look, they're a good team. They're playing with a lot of energy at the moment, a lot of confidence. Mitch Barnett gone. I just don't feel like if they have another injury or two, they could be in trouble. And they almost need to have week 1 at home. Whether they finish 2nd or 5th, I think week 1 at home would be better for them. Like, I don't know.
They keep defying the odds, though, don't they?
They do. And their record away from New Zealand is good. But I just feel like for week 1 of the finals, they might need the New Zealand, basically the whole country behind them at one stage. Raiders, mate, have you seen their draw?
Yeah.
I think they'll be minor premiers.
Oh yeah, it'd be a collapse of sorts. From not to get the minor premiership.
Their run is good. Their confidence is sky high. Not really exposed to Origin all that much.
This is a test in itself, though, because they've been operating on momentum as well. Momentum and confidence. This first bye, I'm interested to see how they come out of it, because there is that tendency to exhale a little bit, you know, and then you've got to get yourself back on the tracks.
They've got a good draw. They've got a couple more byes compared to other teams. And Ricky's been thereabouts. He's going to ride this confidence all the way. It just depends how far it takes them. The Dogs, like, their game style holds up. Well, they're a good team, but I feel like with their Origin players like being exposed a lot this year, they'll fall in a flat spot in round 22. They might drop 2 or 3 games or something like that, but they'll ramp back up. But they'll be hard to beat in a big game.
I've gone purely on form at the moment. I've gone Raiders 1, gone Warriors 2 on that. That Sharks win was a pretty special. Well, not a pretty special win. That was a special win. Dogs 3. Dogs in the last month, I'm not going to say they've come off a little bit, but you know, there've been a couple of pretty big losses. I mean, the Dolphins won.
It was a bad one,
Yeah, it was a bad one. And the game yesterday, I thought that there was an opportunity to really go on with it. And didn't. But so Dogs 3. Storm. I've got Storm 4 at the moment. Now,
do you have them 4 for the rest of the year? Who's your favourite out of those to win the comp?
To win the comp?
Yeah.
I've gone Raiders.
Yeah, right.
I've gone Raiders. Slightly ahead of the Storm, but mate, the Warriors and Dogs, they can nab it.
They can.
We talk about it all the time, Coops, but you say, oh, mate, this competition is so tight. That has not necessarily been the case in the previous 5 years. There's been the top couple, then a dramatic fall away. This competition, mate, there could be a side just come out of the blue, like a Dolphins.
Smokey, you think? Their attack is good.
Well, Coop, we were talking about this on the Sunday night show a couple of weeks ago. I said, at what point do we actually really start to take this side seriously as a contender? And the temptation was to go, not yet. But
why not?
Yeah, well, that's right. Why not? Why not? You know, they're just playing. They're playing great football. So they really are.
Their forward pack is down. Like, no Gilbert, no Plath, no Safidi, and they've got good workers in their team. Can they mix it physically with that dominant Raiders pack? With Fisher Harris.
It's going to be the challenge. One thing they have is their outside backs work really hard.
I'll tell you this, if they can get any type of momentum for Kartal and Nikorima, yes, they can win a game. But if they don't, that hurts.
Just on Storm, Coop, this is almost unheard of as far as the Melbourne Storm under Craig. But Melbourne Storm in general. Melbourne Storm usually excel at night games because you blokes play in slippery night conditions all the time down in Melbourne. This year they've struggled at night. In the day they just blast sides apart. At night they've struggled quite a bit, which has been really totally the opposite from previous years.
Yeah, I just feel like what happened to them last year, like it's just going to be this burning desire that we cannot answer that question until it gets to a couple of weeks out for the finals. I think their Origin players, if they get through unscathed, will have a bit of a dip in form and energy, but once it's 2 weeks to go, I think they go like that. And you do not want to be playing them with this burning desire of making up for last year.
And keep mate, one eye on the Panthers.
Oh, yeah.
One eye on the Panthers. Coming out of this, if they can come out of this Origin series, and they've still got a fair bit of petrol in the tank, and those key men aren't injured, they are really dangerous.
But we've said this, have they used all their bullets?
That's going to be the question.
To catch up,
That's going to be the question.
You wouldn't want to be a team playing Penrith if they finish 8th, put it that way.
Yeah, no.
You'd rather another way in.
Talked about the Dogs yesterday. I thought Galvin and Sexton, in the first half worked well as a combination. Question is, does Cameron Ciraldo allow that combination to cultivate? If he does, where does Burton fit in? All those things. Did one thing yesterday. I just want to, talk about and show on Galvin. What he does, Galvin lays on a pass to Bronson Cherry, who in turn gets it onto Montoya for the try. Now, what he does something which to everybody else looks really basic and simple, but it's not. He gets the ball, there's opportunity. Now, most playmakers would advance the ball towards the defence and then fire the pass. Now, what this does, though, it brings Bronson Cherry basically into the zone of an outside defender, wants to snuff him outside in. So what he does, he just goes, catch, he's going to advance, and then he just, no, I'm going to fire it early. It is, and that's a real skill for a playmaker. Don't give it too early, don't give it too late. He just got it, the Goldilocks effect, just right. And
there's a point of difference because if Galvin's not there, it's normally Cherry and Kikau in a different layer or a different formation, and it's one of the pluses of a half pass into a half, because if you put a middle forward in that, it's slower and it's not as effective. If you go back and have a look, the South's defence was tight. The space was where Montoya was. A lot of ball players and middle forwards when they're ball playing, as you said, advance the ball too far, that rushing defence comes up and you don't get it. What Sexton and Galvin did went pass, pass, pass into the corner. So it's awareness of where the space is and not stuffing around. Get it to that point quickly, and they took advantage of it.